everybody out there on YouTube, and welcome to race number 11 of Season 9 NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, aka ThrashManiac99, the voice of NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the McDonald's 400 here at Superdome Raceway. 50 laps of racing here at the short track, where pit strategy is going to be a big player in this race, and this should be interesting. As we real quick take a look at the top 10 in the standings, Johnny Gardner leads by 16 points over Trent Dunham. Then the rest of the top 10 is Dylan Young, Preston Plord, Tim Walsh, Seth Cole, Charles Sanford, Matt McIntyre, Katie Cochran, and Pichu London. Drivers on the outside of top 30 looking in are Kyle Keith, Bob Jones, Stephanie Naylor, Jessica Sheldon, Zach Flickinger, Daniel Gilbert, Zach Rogers, Caleb Farrell, J.T. Bryant, and Marco Martinez. So we are only, after this race, we have one race left until All-Star break, and that would be at Lime Rock next week. But let's look at the top 10, the starting lineup for today. Austin LaPlante is on the pole for today. Starting next to him is James Qualls. Row 2 is Aaron Henderson and DJ Curtis. Row 3 is Johnny Gardner and James McLeod. Row 4, Sean Galligan, Preston Plord. And then row 5, Jesse Setti and Austin Mongold. With that said, let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the McDonald's 400 at Superdome.
Drivers, start your engines!
Pace car rolling for our one pace lap. Now, last season when we raced here, it was a pretty successful race. Hardly any crashes, and it was solid racing throughout. We might see the same thing here this season, but we might get a wreck or two since we have more rookies here, and they may try to make some crazy moves, but we'll see what happens. And all I know is that if you're on the high line, you've got a good chance of winning this thing. Low line, you might be in trouble. Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys and girls. And already DJ Curtis gets the wall. He thought about making it 3 wide, but it didn't work. And like I said, the high line's going to work, and James Qualls will lead lap number 1. James McLeod working on Aaron Henderson for 3rd. And he's going to go by, and now he's going to try to work on Austin LaPlante for 2nd as well. Preston Plord trying to do the same thing along with Aaron Henderson. And now DJ Curtis, who's hit the wall, scraped the wall a little bit, he's starting to come back, and now he's going to try to go by Johnny Gardner, and that's for the 6th position, I think. And try to get by Aaron Henderson as well. And Curtis is going to get by to 5th now. As meanwhile, James Qualls is pulling away. He has a 1-second lead over Austin LaPlante right now. And James Qualls, this is only his 3rd start this season. So he's definitely looking to get his first ever Walmart Cup Series win. To my knowledge, that is, I believe. That this would be his first if he were to somehow pull it off. But keep in mind, like I said, pit strategy is going to be a factor for this race much, much later. And Austin LaPlante actually gained 2/10 that last lap, so LaPlante might be on to something here. Meanwhile, DJ Curtis thinking about working up Preston Plord for the 4th position. And so far with Curtis right now, this is the best he has performed so far in quite a while. Since a few weeks ago, he'd fallen out of the top 10, and he was 2nd in points for a while. And then he slipped back and is right now 11th in the standings. But luckily he has those 2 wins from Daytona and Las Vegas to fall back on for the wild card spot if he were not able to make the top 10. And meanwhile, Austin LaPlante has a run on that 70 car. Meanwhile, around the field, it's pretty much battles all over the board. Meanwhile, this is a potential battle for third brewing. Preston Plord trying to get to James McLeod. DJ Curtis trying to reel in both of those machines. And now LaPlante is almost to the back bumper of the 70 of Qualls. Margin at the line, a little more than 2/10. So it's getting really dicey up here. It's like LaPlante has got to get James McLeod, or not McLeod, Qualls a little worked up in order to move him out of the way. But right there, LaPlante's going to lose a little bit of time because he slipped down to the bottom and hit that one of them bumps on one of the bumps on the track and ruined his momentum. Meanwhile, McLeod, Plord, and Curtis are all battling for third, and Aaron Henderson trying to reel in them guys. Same with P.J. Williams, Sean Galligan. Right here, potential battle for 10th starting to brew as Michael Norman has the spot, but Austin Mongold wants the spot. As LaPlante is trying to figure out a way to get back to Qualls, and he's starting to do it again. He's starting to catch him again. As we are almost as we have 6 laps left until the halfway point. And you gotta wonder, when will these guys end up pitting, especially if this race goes into a long green flag run, which is what it is right now. If we stay green the whole time, who knows what could happen as far as when they're gonna pit and who's gonna come out first. As I continue to scroll around the field, and now Preston Plord is going to go by James McLeod for third, and now DJ Curtis going to try to go by for fourth over McLeod, and guys are just going to somehow, someway go by McLeod. I guess McLeod just could not keep the bottom going. Back up at the front, Qualls and LaPlante are about to catch lap traffic, and remember, it was also lap traffic that played a big role in the race last season. So who knows if it's going to affect the outcome of this race as well. So both pit strategy and lap traffic is going to make this an interesting race. Oh, LaPlante, he's got a nose in the high line. Can he make the pass? But James Qualls is going to get the most laps led bonus points no matter what, because he has led 25 out of 50 laps. But here comes LaPlante, and he leads that lap. And is now clear of Qualls, as they are slowly gaining a hornet's nest of lap traffic. So Qualls had led half of this race, 25 out of 50 laps, and if LaPlante can do that, then both guys will have dominated this race and will get the bonus points for leading the most laps. And remember, them bonus points are very, very valuable. As now Preston Plord is now to second, and DJ Curtis working the high line over James Qualls for third. Aaron Henderson, who's in the top 5, having a great run today in the 5th position right now for Yates Racing. PJ Williams trying to get some momentum going back again as he's now running 6th position right now. But now Preston Plord has caught Austin LaPlante as a result of LaPlante catching lap traffic. And we haven't seen any instances of guys coming into pit road just yet. So this is going to get interesting when that would happen. And Plord trying to make the bottom lane work, but it ain't going to happen as LaPlante stays up high. Right now, the first car to go a lap down is Angel Navarro. DJ Curtis trying to go by Lap Machine and his teammate Angel Navarro. Preston Plord has got the bottom lane underneath of LaPlante, but is LaPlante going to be able to keep the momentum up high? Yes, he will. So far, still nobody. I have not seen anybody come into pit road yet, which is going to get really interesting because we're getting closer to the end of the race. We only got 14 laps to go here at Superdome. Right now it is Austin LaPlante, then Preston Plord and DJ Curtis, the top 3, along with James Qualls and Aaron Henderson, the top 5. I think the last thing that Austin LaPlante wants to see is a caution come out. Preston Plord still within reach of that 48 car as they're going by more lap cars, going by Jonathan Zorline now, who's now the second car to go a lap down. And now LaPlante going to try to go by Charles Sanford, excuse me. Ten laps to go here in the McDonald's 400 at the Superdome. And Austin LaPlante now pulling away from second place as a result of going by quite a couple of lap machines, quite a few of them actually. But the big question of pit stops still remains a thing, as nobody I have seen has come into pit road yet. And you gotta wonder if they're even going to come into pit road. Austin LaPlante trying to work on the 2 of Dylan Young, but not working yet. Now, I saw him slow down just a tad bit. I'd say that might be a sign of him coming to pit road potentially. No, it didn't seem that way. I thought that was what that was. And nobody is yet to come in. So meanwhile, LaPlante's still working the high line over Zorline because Zorline's trying to get a lap back. But he's going to slip back again as we got 5 laps to go. And man, if they pit now, it's really going to shake things up. And still, I have not seen anybody pull out of the track into the pits. So I guess they might be able to try to stretch it out to the end as it's now 4 to go. And LaPlante's still hanging on a little bit by a thread over Preston Plord, who is right to his back bumper now. 3 laps to go here at the Superdome. And it looks like Preston Plord's the last hope to try and take the lead away from Austin LaPlante for the win. Plord trying to get a little bit of clean air on the bottom, but it's not really working as it's 2 to go. LaPlante's just too strong up there. As we're coming to the white flag. White flag is out here in the McDonald's 400. As we're getting ready to come off of turn 4 for the final time, Austin LaPlante wins the McDonald's 400 at Superdome Raceway. What a run for the 48 team. As now the cars have disappeared underneath the track. Yeah, you can't even see them right now, but anyways, that does it for today's race, and what a race it was, as Austin LaPlante gets his first win of the season here at the Superdome. Let's look at the rest of the results. Preston Plord comes away with a great run in second. That's definitely going to help him out in the point standings. DJ Curtis, first time in a while, gets a good finish. He comes away third. PJ Williams, another top 5 run in fourth. Sean Galligan with a great run in fifth, and he's starting to get a little momentum on his side. Highest finishing rookie and go or go home driver was Aaron Henderson, finishing sixth. Great run for him. Michael Norman with a solid 7th place run. Austin Mongold, great run in 8th. James McLeod with a solid 9th. And Pichu London, great run in 10th. Rest of the top 20 was Joshua Collard, Dorian Facepuncher, James Qualls, Johnny Gardner, Jesse Setti, Katie Cochran, Nathan Hudson, Carson Gum, Matt McIntyre, Alan Cavagnaro. Rest of the top 30 was Chris Washer, Tanner Sullivan, William Duncan, Anthony McCrory, Chase Oliver, Jake Baskinger, David Rivera, Ryan Acosta, Tim Walsh, and Jessica Shelton. Rest of the lead lap cars were John Cittadino, Devin Becker, Seth Cole, and Trent Dunham. Everybody else finished a lap down, and they were Dylan Thoreau, Kyle Matthews, Dylan Poteet, Dylan Young, Angel Navarro, Jonathan Zorline, Mason Powers, and Charles Sanford. Well, that does it for our coverage today here at Superdome. Next week, we head to Lime Rock for the Mountain Dew 300, and that's the last race we have until All-Star break occurs. And that's going to be big when we get to that point, where we're going to have the fan vote to determine who will get to join the All-Star ranks for the race. But until then, here are your results, rookie points, and regular points heading into Lime Rock. And this is Levi McIntyre, signing off.